Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is episode 251 of the World Famous University Love Podcast, also known as Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Today is Tuesday, April the 13th, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried to record a episode 4 times yesterday, and every time something happened. I don't know what was going on yesterday with the podcast. I was recording, I was talking, and then I looked up and it just stopped recording. I don't know if I hit a button or what. I was a good 10 minutes in. Then I tried to do it again. And I looked at my microphone, and my microphone got loose. So I was recording it. Because on the microphone that I have, the AT2020, they have a front side and a back side. You always want to talk into the front side, because if you're talking to the back side, you'll sound like you're talking in a tunnel. So somehow I accidentally got onto the back side, and I said, well, I can't release that, because we don't release that kind of crap anymore. So that was strike 2, and then we had a couple more strikes, and it was just a situation. I was like, man, I don't know what's going on today, but it was also getting late at night. It was like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Normally I try to record them around 1, 2 o'clock, but yesterday was just a kind of a long day. But anyway, we are back. Brand new episode. Today we are going to discuss recording on YouTube. What should you do? Just a couple of tips. Most important thing is when you want to record on YouTube. Now you want to start a YouTube channel, or you definitely want to do video. You want to do video and you want to do audio. If you do a podcast, definitely start working on doing videos, because videos are powerful. And a lot of people these days, they don't like to listen to nothing. They like to watch everything, look at it with their eyes. So you definitely want to, if you do YouTube, or what's the other one? Venmo, or any kind of, TikTok. I do TikTok. I mean, I've done 5 videos on TikTok, and they've all gotten over like 100 views. I mean, people watch. So there's definitely an audience for TikTok if that's what you want to do. But you definitely want to mix in audio, and you want to mix in some video. All right. But the most important thing about video is making sure that the sound, that they can hear you. They might not be able to see you. Your show might not be the most, crystal clear. You're not gonna have an HD camera. You might have a phone. If you're just using a phone, they have all kinds of audio equipment that you could check out to make sure that the people hear you very well. You want to be heard. People will give you a chance if you have good audio. They won't, if the video is kind of grainy, the video is kind of, people will still check it out. But if the audio is bad as well, then no, they probably won't check you out. So definitely be thinking about that. Also, think about a place that you can record. When I used to record the podcast, sometimes I would go into different closets. I would go into my car. I would try to go into the best place that I had, acoustics. The best place for acoustics. I learned my lesson on Thanksgiving weekend. I was recording in my kitchen, and I got a phone call Monday. Those weekend recordings, terrible. I'm like, what? Hello? Mom, is that you? She said, yeah, I listened this weekend. The audio was bad. It was hard to listen. It was hard to hear you. And I said, oh, okay. So I went back and listened to one of them. It was god awful. So, I apologize for all that, but it's just a lesson from me to you. You definitely want to make sure you are, when you record yourself for a couple of minutes and just talk, and then play it back, and you can hear how good it sounds. All right, you can definitely tell when you're in the tunnel. You definitely can tell when you're somewhere that you don't have any business being. So the smaller the place, if you don't have any kind of like insulation or any kind of foam, you definitely want to do things like go to a small space, a closet, or your car, or anywhere that is kind of condensed. So that way, when you talk, it won't be sound like you're bouncing off the walls and all that kind of stuff. All right, so just make sure your sound is good. Like I have a Canon M50, and then I have on top of that I have the Rode microphone. Now that their microphone works very well. It picks up audio very well. You can hear me on the audio very clearly. So, and it wasn't that expensive. So you can always check out, it's Rode. It's called Rode, Rode. You can always check that out. They have good sound. I have another microphone for the camera where you plug it up and you clip it on your shirt. So if you want to do it that way, there's all kinds of ways that you don't have to really break the bank when it comes to spending on audio equipment. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. Like I bought this. Now I spent this microphone that I have is the AT2020, but I bought this 4 or 5 years ago. It was like $250 at the time. And I bought this because, as I told you before, I really wanted to do voiceover. And then I got to thinking about doing a podcast, and I said, "Oh man, I got a microphone I can use." So I pulled it out, and it's a very good microphone. It's $250. I saved up a few bucks and bought it, but you don't have to even spend that kind of money. You can. There's all kinds of. As I told you before, I spent $20 on a little stereo clip, a little microphone, and it worked well for a few months until I decided to, just start using this microphone. So there's all kinds of ways, to get around it and to make sure that your audio is up to snuff. Whether you're doing podcasts or whether you're doing video, you want to make sure that the audio, if the audio is not good, then it's not going to work. All right. So that is one thing you can do for YouTube. And another thing you can do is, as you well know, thumbnails. You got to make sure those down pat. You can pay somebody or you can do them yourself. You could try to do them. I go to Canva and get and do thumbnails, but I always use the free stuff. So just because it's free and I really don't know what I'm doing, but the main thing I do is I type in YouTube thumbnail and they give you the exact configurations for the kind of thumbnail that YouTube will allow you to be on there. So then you can make the thumbnail that you want, or you can just tell somebody what kind of thumbnail you want. My thumbnails, they're not good. I need to start paying somebody. Actually, I need to make my thumbnails pop. Thumbnails are like the curiosity factor of a video. Like if you have good thumbnails, then people will click on your stuff. Like, and don't think that you won't get any views. I mean, I have like some of the worst videos on YouTube, and I still get views sometimes. So don't worry about if you're awkward on camera. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Just start doing it, and you'll get better at it. Trust me, you will get better at it. It's not a big deal. But right now, these days, video is like I love the podcast. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a dumb. Video is, you can, if you want to get to the honey faster, you want to get the flies in the trap faster, definitely go the video route. Like the podcast is more intimate and the podcast is more, like I feel that if I do, when I really start doing them on a daily basis, like I'll probably have more audience for the YouTube, but the audience for the podcast will be more intimate. The audience for the podcast will be more, personal. You know what I mean? It's going to have more of a personal feel because it's just me and you. It's not like a group of people, and it's not, I'm not trying to be funny or, I mean, of course I'm being entertaining. You know what I mean? Like I hope I hope I am being entertaining, but you know what I mean? Like you in the podcast, I can let my guard down more than I can in a YouTube video. You know what I mean? Because YouTube video, people want to hear information. People want to hear, how do I make money online? Boom, boom, boom. They don't want to hear all these stories that I have to tell you, like on the podcast. So for me, I love doing the podcast just because it's a more personal touch. But I know I had to get way consistent on the YouTube videos because it's definitely the route we going. And YouTube and TikTok, definitely need to do better on those because we got to up the ante. But when you're doing the YouTube, and another thing that I use, we talked about this before. I've done a podcast on YouTube before, but just want to emphasize, some of the things that if you haven't started, if you haven't got started already, or if you're new to the channel, then it's always a good time to refresh. But I use vidIQ, and you can use that for keywords, and it will rank. It will help you rank your video higher, and they have this optimize. They have this thing where you can boost it. I spend 40 bucks a month, and the videos that I have done so far have ranked quite well using vidIQ, and I have gotten more views than what I expected, so I greatly appreciate it. But there's other different tools you can use for a cheaper price. It's like TubeBuddy, things of that nature. Now, all these tools, I don't have any links. I know I'm in affiliate marketing, but today it's just not about that. It's just about me spreading the word to you about, how to get started on YouTube and how to get started on, maybe you want to do TikTok. But I definitely don't know how to do a TikTok video. Honestly, I just like I recorded a short video of my books and then my desk and my camera and everything in the office, and it got like 800 views, so that's cool. I mean, I know it's not like a grand slam on TikTok, but it's something. It's better than nothing. You know what I mean? Like, the most important thing for you and for me, and we're going to be internet marketers. The most important thing for us is just to get out there, get your name out there. Just keep showing up. Like, I always see these ads for Russell Brunson, and people are like, I'm sick of Russell Brunson, but the guy's present everywhere. So it's like, that's smart. That's very intelligent. That's a very intelligent way to be. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna be in the marketing business, you have to market yourself. You know what I mean? So definitely, you want to be the more. And if you're on a shoestring budget, you want to be on all the free stuff you can be. That's why we talked about Facebook groups last week. That's why we're talking about YouTube. We're talking about TikTok. All the free stuff. If you can be on there, the more you can be on there, the more present you can be, the better off you can be. And like I told you before, you get in those Facebook groups. Make sure you are killing it. Make sure you are present. Make sure you are not a wallflower, and you can always direct people. And that's another reason why you want to get on social media and stuff like that. Because the more you tell people, hey, I got a YouTube channel, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, everything doesn't have to, you don't have to go the route I go. I go the hard-headed route. I go the I ain't telling nobody anything route, and then I work my way up. Just because I'm a hard-headed sucker, you know what I mean? So you don't have to be like that. I know a guy, he's been on Facebook every day, yapping to people, telling people, hey, I got a YouTube channel. And he has 232 subscribers, which is not a lot in the spectrum of YouTube, but it's a whole lot better than what I got. I got 6, and I haven't told a soul. So there you go. And this guy, every day he tells people, hey man, I got a YouTube channel, man. Check out my YouTube channel. It's growing. You know what I mean? But it just takes time. All this stuff takes time. So don't get discouraged. Don't get upset. Don't get annoyed. It's just YouTube is, because everybody and their brother has a YouTube channel. So you have to stand out from the crowd. You can do different videos, and like I told you before, you can always do research. There's not a rhyme or reason. You don't have to copy and paste word for word. You don't have to be like certain YouTube celebrities or certain YouTubers that just constantly rip off people and just take the word for word and do it. That's disgusting. But you can always get inspired. You can always do different videos. Because listen, at the end of the day, honestly, like, come on. Like, all this stuff is not new. It's just coming from a different voice. And people are going to like you. People are going to be attracted to you. People buy from people they like. You know what I mean? So don't think, oh man, I'm using this guy's video. Yeah, you can use the video. Just don't go word for word of what they say. Put it into your own words. Put it how you would say it. Speak how you speak. And that's that. And you don't have to worry about, it's not about all you stealing all these ideas. Like, come on, man. It's certain things that you can do, certain different ways you can go. Like, I would recommend one day that you get a app. Like, you have an app one day. That would be cool. Like, get an app. You know what I mean? And have people and direct people to the app, because Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff is great and everything, but eventually, what if you get too big and they're like, we don't like this? They platform you. They kick you off. You want to have people go somewhere. That's why I always stress the email marketing. Make sure you get an email list eventually, make sure you grow the email list. Make sure you have it. And then eventually get you a app, some kind of app. There's different ways you can go. But the main thing is you want people to know where you are at. You don't want to just rely on social. Don't rely on Facebook. Don't rely on Instagram. Don't make that your business. If you make those your business, then you're going to be dead. Your business will be dead. Not you, but your business will be dead. So don't rely on social media to guide you 100%. Use social media for what it's good for, but don't rely on it. You know what I mean? Don't rely on YouTube. Don't rely on, definitely don't rely on any of these. Make sure you grow the audience. Make sure you build the audience. Make sure you, and then you say, hey, give me your email address so we can always stay in touch, just in case something happens to me. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Especially like I had MailChimp one time. I told you before. I had MailChimp for like 2 days. MailChimp kicked me off after 2 days. You believe that? 2 days. I had how many people did I have at the time? I had probably like 75 email addresses at the time. And I was just transporting them from Aweber, I believe. And I was like, I'm going to try MailChimp. And MailChimp kicked me off after 2 days. So I had to take those 75, go back to Aweber, with my head between my legs. So definitely be careful about that. Definitely watch out for the deplatforming. But always keep an email list. Always keep it. And if you have an email list, make sure you have it printed out, or make sure you have it somewhere else, or just you have to worry about these kind of things. You have to worry about getting kicked off these places. You don't have to make that your whole life about worrying about it, but you definitely want to keep it in the back of your mind. All right. But when you're doing the YouTube, make sure the sound is the most important thing. Video can be a little off. Sound cannot be off. If the sound is off, then you're not gonna cut it. All right. And there's different tools, and we will go more into depth about the tools and all that kind of stuff at a later date. But for just now, I'm just telling you sound. There's different ways you can go. Me myself, with my camera, I use a Rode microphone. For the audio, I got a windscreen cover for my AT2020 thing, and it works quite well. So you can always check those out. And the windscreen was like $30, I believe. And the Rode microphone probably was like $20, I believe. So it's not like too super expensive. I don't want you to go out and spend a boatload of money just to try to get studio equipment. Most important thing I want you to do is go out there and start making money. So that way you can take the money that you're making and then invest in the equipment. All right. Don't be one of these people who go out here, spend $20,000 on a studio and make no money. It's stupid. All right. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's it for the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Online Marketing Moves. We will be back tomorrow with an all new episode. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, why haven't you told a friend about the greatest podcast going today? Listen, we are not as big as Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen. You know that, but I tell you what, we got a damn good show, and it's damn better than any other show in the world of podcasts. All right. I just wanted to put that little enthusiasm out there for you. So tell a friend to tell a friend. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's it for the podcast. I got to go. My name is Tony Rosano. I enjoyed talking to you today, and I hope you enjoyed listening. And as always, everybody, peace.